Okay, so now I want to show you the different ways that you can power this guy. And for the effect, we're going to have two boards here. One is a board flashed with the low power firmware, and this is the normal power firmware. And with the normal power firmware, I'm only going to be able to do it off a pretty big heavy-duty LiPo battery, such as this guy here. So let's start with the normal. And as you can see, it's pretty bright. It's a little hard, I think, to show up on the camera, but this is the normal brightness. This will show up just fine during indoor light, not so much during full daylight, but you know, pretty bright nonetheless. The problem is we're not going to be able to run this with a normal power supply, and I can just show you what will happen actually. So let's plug this in here, and let's just take our typical, you know, cell phone battery pack, something like this guy, and I'll just show you what happens when I try this guy. So basically what's happening is we're getting too much voltage drop because it's drawing too much current. The board is resetting itself over and over again, so it's not able to run the whole thing. So that's the problem. I think even with the LiPo battery, I'm going to get the same behavior. Let's just double check that. Yeah, so it went just slightly longer, but still the same problem. So if you want to run it with a portable battery, which is, you know, better for a wearable type of thing, then we need to flash using the low power firmware. So I've already done that. So I'm going to come over here to this board, which has been flashed with the low power. Let me pop out this micro SD card, so it's got the same animation, and just plug it into here. And now let's try the same thing on the low power firmware board. So let's plug it in. Again, these plugs only go in one way they're notched, so don't worry about screwing up there. Okay, so let's start with our run-of-the-mill smartphone battery pack. And we'll just plug it in. Okay, so you can see it's not as bright. It works, that's the good part. So now I'm nice and portable, but I take a hit on brightness. Let's turn off the lights. So in the nighttime, you can see it's bright enough. It's plenty bright, but it's just, you know, the downside is it's not going to be as good in daylight or even room light. This is really more of a nighttime thing. Okay, so that was the portable phone charger. This is probably the easiest way to go. The only tricky part is you need to get one of these funny USB on one end to DC jack on the other end. You can get them on Amazon. There's a link on the page. They're like $4. So that's the only part you need to get, and then you can just use any run-of-the-mill charger. This bigger one will work too. You know, obviously it's bigger, so it's going to be a little bit more bulk, but it's going to last longer, of course. So we'll just show that one there real quick as well. But you know, both of these things are not so portable, and you're going to see the power cord. So if you really want to go portable, we're going to want to hide the battery basically underneath here. Then this is really the only way to go. And this is, I think this is a 2000, let's see, 2000 milliamp LiPo battery, putting out 3.7 volts. This converts that 3.7 volts to 5 volts. And then it also has a charger, because I'm going to want to recharge this thing, so I can just recharge it over USB right here. So that's nice and convenient. So if you want to go fully portable, this is really the best bet.